Benchmark indices, Nifty and Sensex witnessed the worst fall in the last 2 months today. The carnage on Dalal Street affected all sectors as they ended the trading day in the red. IPOs of new age companies were amongst the worst hit. Shares of online food aggregator Zomato extending losses from last week and declining nearly 20%. Over the past month, Zomato's shares have fallen nearly 30%. Another D Street debutant, Paytm, hitting a lifetime low. Stock traded 55% lower from its all-time high and ended 4.6% lower at 916 rupees. Nykaa slipped by nearly 13% in trade at 1,745 rupees. Similarly, as you can see on your screen, other new listings like RateGain, Car Trade, Star Health, Paras Defense all falling by 7, 5 and 3-4% each. Moving on to earnings now, Yes Bank reported a 77% jump in profits year-on-year in the December quarter. The bank saw its asset quality improve sequentially in the quarter. Analysts expect the lender to benefit from the setup of its proposed asset reconstruction company.
We invited expression of interest from some of the stress asset players. We got interest from very large international stress asset players. Okay. And currently we are in the process of shortlisting. So I think by next month we will be able to finalize our partner in this. So we are trying to conclude the entire transaction by March end or maybe first quarter of the next financial year, if there is any delay. And then the entire NPA book of the bank would be shifted to the ARC. And the bank would be like a 0% NPA.
Asian Paints reported a mixed set of numbers. Inflationary trend in raw material prices impacting margins, while the company's profit tanked. Revenue saw some robust growth. Domestic decorative business registered a strong double-digit growth.
The volume growth is something which we are very buoyant about, and we've got an 18% volume growth and about a 26% value. When we look at margins, obviously the gross margins sequentially have gone up given the fact that we took 2 big price increases in Q3, one in November and one in December, amounting to about 15%. Overall, PBDIT margins are also up from the last quarter sequentially, and they have gone closer to about 19% overall to that extent. So therefore, what we are seeing is a very strong and positive trajectory with respect to how inflation had hit us overall in the first half of the year.
Biocon reported a strong set of numbers in the December quarter. The company saw growth across all verticals, leading to a rise in profit, but margins did take a bit of a hit.
One of the factors that has kind of muted margins this quarter is really a mark-to-market loss, which operationally should not be looked at, because this is a notional loss, a mark-to-market loss of 77 crores, which has really shrunk the margins a little bit. But if you actually remove that particular loss, then margins actually are at a very healthy level, 28%. So it's much stronger than last year.
While HDFC Life registered a 4.5% profit, the company missed estimates. The private insurer also logged a big decline in revenues.
Indian GAAP profits were impacted because of the excess mortality reserving that we did due to COVID claims. If you remember, in Q1 we started off with 700 crores. We increased it further. We have continued to increase. We made a further 55 crores in Q3, just as ample precaution in case Omicron rears its head in terms of elevated death claims. Not that we expect to, but just as ample precaution. So that has also impacted the profitability.
U.S. stock futures slid Monday following the worst week for the S&P 500 since March 2020, as investors fretted about interest rate hikes ahead of the Fed Reserve meeting this week. Last week was a painful week for billionaires, as everything from e-commerce to cryptocurrencies to online gaming tumbled. World's top 5 tech billionaires shed a collective $67 billion in wealth this week. Jeff Bezos shed $20 billion from his fortune. Changpeng Zhao of Binance dropped $17.7 billion, while Mark Zuckerberg's wealth fell $10.4 billion. Elon Musk, the world's richest person, saw his net worth drop by $25.1 billion, or more than 9% last week. Food aggregator Swiggy announces a fundraise of $700 million in new funding led by Atlanta-headquartered Invesco. The round also saw participation from a host of new investors such as Baron Capital Group, Sumeru Venture, IIFL AMC, etc. With the new fundraise, the Bengaluru-based company has now reached a valuation of $10.7 billion. Ola Electric has raised $200 million from a clutch of investors including Techne Private Ventures, Alpine Opportunity Fund and Edelweiss. The company confirmed to Business Today. The fresh funding round values the company at $5 billion. Paytm's parent 197 Communications and NBFC Fullerton India announced a partnership. The deal will offer Paytm Postpaid a buy now pay later scheme utilizing Fullerton's deep risk assessment capabilities and scale. The companies will expand offerings and include instant end-to-end digitally originated personal loans disbursed using Paytm's technology and Fullerton's presence.